If you've been on the lock journey for like 2 seconds, already comparing your hair to someone that has locks for like 10 years, I'm sorry, but it's not going to work. Comparing your hair definitely will have you feeling very scissor happy and feel like you need to start over to get a different result. You don't always get the same look as the other person because there are many factors that go into how your locks develop and form. Factors such as your hair texture, your hair density, how thick or thin your hair strands are. So someone might have 78 locks. It looks completely different from somebody else that has the same amount but has like thicker hair strands. So comparing your hair is just never the way to go. And I know a lot of people want to comb out their locks and start over because their locks didn't come out exactly how they planned. You know, before people get locks, they like to look at their favorite lock influencers and ask them how many locks do they have so they can get the same amount, and hopefully, heavy on hopefully, the locks look like the influencers' locks. But that's I wouldn't depend on that. The only time I'm condoning combing out your locks to start over is one, if you're not satisfied with the parting, or if you got a lot of buildup because you weren't aware of how to prevent your locks from getting lint and you want to have a fresh start, or if you have damaged or bleached hair that is taking forever to lock up, or it's just too far gone and you want to start over on a fresh slate, understandable. But comparing your hair to someone else's, saying, my locks don't look like hers, why is my hair looking like this? Should it look this crazy? Stop it. Going down a very slippery slope with that one. No, do not cut your hair. Just give your hair a chance and grow along with your locks. They go through different phases. We have the budding stage, frizzing. Give your hair a chance and it will surprise you. Take a lot of pictures and just document your journey and you'll actually see how far you've come. It's very important to take pictures, all right? Month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, year 1, year 2, year 3. Looking back on all of that, on all of the progress, to see your commitment, to see your patience, to see your growth, yes, it's needed. You don't have to comb out your hair because it's going to look how it's going to look. It doesn't mean that it's not beautiful because it looks different from somebody else's. Comparison is the thief of joy. I know it's beating us up because I spy people combing out their ends. Should I talk about that? People combing out the ends of their hair to have curls at the end, and nothing is wrong with experimenting. I've actually thought about doing it myself, combing out the ends of my hair so you can have curls at the end. But it's like, if our hair, when it locked, didn't naturally do that, why are we doing that? Our hair doesn't have the texture that naturally takes long to seal up at the tips. We get that with like a softer texture hair that's locking, but you'll notice that it still holds curls because of the hair texture at the end, and they didn't have to comb out the lock and manipulate it to get there. It's just naturally curly at the end because not every trend that we see we should hop on. I see people combing out the ends of their hair, right? Cool. But then it isn't even curly at the end. It's like a little miniature afro. We alter our locks just so we could look like somebody else's, when the whole point of the lock journey is to just embrace how your hair processes, how your hair locks up, how your hair transforms, how your hair changes. But no, we're looking at other people. We're combing out our locks to start over so we could get a different size, a different amount, so it can look like our favorite influencers. We're combing out the ends to get afro ends because our hair doesn't curl naturally at the end, but we want to have curly ends. I know that it's cute. It's a vibe, but our hair didn't naturally have curls at the end. So why are we manipulating our hair? And I know some people, because of my past videos, some people were like, let people do what they want with their hair. I agree, but sometimes we just have to look at the deeper meaning behind why we do some things and how it actually affects our subconscious thought process of ourselves and our self-acceptance. Like the decisions we make surrounding ourselves and our appearance really, it has a deeper internal meaning. But all in all, if you're dissatisfied for sure with how your locks look, there's nothing wrong with cutting it and starting over, because it doesn't make sense to have locks that you're not happy with. But I'm just making sure that you guys are cutting your hair and starting over for the right reasons, and not because you're trying to look like someone else specifically, if you know what I mean. It's just like, I hope you accept however your locks choose to change, and just do a lot of research to ensure that the set you get is the set you think you'll be most satisfied with. And the things to consider would be like how you want your hair parted, the size of the locks, and you can use an amount of locks to kind of give you a guide, or an idea of how your locks may turn out. But bearing in mind that it doesn't always look like how you expect, you shouldn't make that derail you from sticking to the journey or sticking with that lock set. I know that when you get on social media, it's very easy to compare your locks to someone else's, especially people that are in like the same starting stage as you. And it's like, why do their hair look more mature? And why does mine still stick up? Or why are my locks still bendy? Why has my locks not dropped yet? Why is it still frizzy? Why are theirs looking more like locks than mine? You have a whole bunch of things running through your head, but you need to just chill out. Enjoy the ride, okay? Don't rush the journey. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's locks are different. Your hair is not the same as someone else's, so your journey is going to be unique to you. It's been a few months in and your hair isn't quite looking how you think it would have looked, and you're dissatisfied. But here's the thing, locks constantly change. They don't look the same after every few months. So don't give in too quick. I would say just give it some time and be patient. Don't rush the journey. Just be cool for the ride. Enjoy the journey. Your locks are going to surprise you. All right. The changes are something that you should embrace. And I'm telling you, it's well worth the wait. Have I ever thought of combing out my locks and start over? Believe it or not, the answer is yes, because it's after being a few months in the lock journey, I really noticed that my parts weren't as straight or evenly gridded. If I could go back, I would change that. I wish I took better care in the way my hair was parted, simply because when you get a retwist, sometimes you could see that the locks aren't really have a particular shape. So I'll be like 4 years locked next month. And so far, if I could go back and change anything, it definitely would be how I parted my hair at first. But now that I'm 4 years in, it is what it is. I've learned to just love and accept my locks as they are now. So I'm good now. But like before, I really wish I took better care with how I parted my hair. So if that's a factor, if you don't like how your hair is parted and you wish to comb it out, that's actually a valid reason. But I can say it's something that you could get over. Even if your hair isn't perfectly parted, it can still look very beautiful. Some people, when they got their locks, they didn't even part it. They just took pieces of hair and twisted it and left it. And the parts are all over the place, but the locks are still uniform and it's still gorgeous. So you don't necessarily have to start over your lock journey because the parts are, like all over the place. I appreciate the constant support and love, and I'll see you again in the next one. Happy lock journey, everyone.